All right. Well, you're another edition of Instigator Mick. I am your host, Mickey Jordan, here, bringing you another edition of previewing college football and NFL this week. First, before I get into this, I want to tell you how hyped I am up Virginia Tech's win this past Saturday. I'm happy they finally beat Pitt. Waiting 4 long fucking years for that moment. I know there's some certain Pitt fan that's probably not happy about this one. That has been rubbing it all week about. Sure, Max wasn't pleased about that, but I know I'm happy about the win. Virginia Tech won pretty easily, and the Bills they made it look easy against the Miami Dolphins, putting up 48 points on Miami. That was amazing. And the defense shut down Miami's offense, shut down Tua, showing that he's still a fraud. Not that good of a quarterback. But then against a rough week, still it shows that Tua does not own the AFC still. It just shows it. I didn't do too hot this week in MSP, like in the NFL pool. I lost this week. I ended up finishing +1. But then I lost my pick of the week too, which made it worse. The freaking Chiefs blew it for me in my pick of the week. And I finished in the college football picks last week. I finished tied with Max, 9-3. Both finished 9-3. So obviously it's another call-in show tonight, as well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Big Rivers. We definitely squished the fish, man. We squished them. We exposed the Dolphins. We exposed them. Let's get into this week's college football picks for week 6. Let's start with couple Friday night games we put. One of them here. It's a Big 12 matchup here. It's Kansas State at Oklahoma State. Kansas State's actually the favorites, like a big-time favorites on the road, like 12-point favorites. I was thinking of going to Oklahoma State for the upset, but I was like, no. Kansas State's just too much. I got Kansas State winning that one over Oklahoma State on the road. They'll take care of business. The other Friday night game, this is the Big 10 matchup here. It's Nebraska at Illinois. I mean, they're both 2-3. They're both trash right now. I mean, both down, but I'm going to go with and this is kind of a tough one. I mean, it's in Illinois, but I'm going to go with Nebraska for the upset. I don't know why I picked Nebraska for this one, but I really think this time they'll beat Illinois. I really think they're going to get it turned around. Matt Rule's not that bad of a coach. Last week, Nebraska did play Michigan, though. That's a really good team. It wasn't even close. This week's a lot like evenly matched game. So I got Nebraska winning that one. Next, you got the Saturday games. Now, the Red River rivalry, Texas versus Oklahoma. Both undefeated, both ranked. It's a really big test for Texas right now. I mean, they beat Alabama this year. They pretty much made a statement against Kansas last week. I don't know. I mean, it's probably their toughest opponent all year. One of their toughest opponents right now since Alabama. I really think Texas wins this one. I think Texas is back. They are for real. It's not. I mean, I got them winning by double digits. It's be close for most of the part, but then Texas pulls away in the second half, wins by double figures. So I got the Longhorns over Oklahoma. They actually got Maryland and Ohio State. That's a big noon Saturday game on Fox. It's kind of an easy pick here. This is kind of a big one here, I think. This is an easy one. Ohio State by a lot. I got the Buckeyes by a lot in this one. Yeah, Maryland's got Tua's little brothers as a starting quarterback, but not going to make a difference. Ohio State's just too much, especially at home. So I got the Buckeyes in that one. Next, you got another ranked matchup. A couple SEC opponents here. SEC teams are here. LSU at Missouri. LSU came off a tough loss, losing to Ole Miss. It was a high-scoring game. It was back and forth, but Ole Miss won that one. But this week, LSU goes to Missouri. I don't really like that one. To be honest with you, I had trouble picking this one. Missouri is undefeated, and they're at home. I'm actually going to go with the upset. I think Missouri beats LSU. I don't know. I think LSU's going to – their confidence is kind of shattered after that loss to Ole Miss. I like Missouri at home. And that one. Oh, God, this one. It's Virginia Tech, but, God, they're playing Florida State. Virginia Tech's on the road at Florida State. They're like 23.5-point underdogs. I mean, the beginning, like Sunday, the spread was like 25.5. The spread's kind of dropped a little bit, but still, they're big underdogs in Florida State. I mean, I'm still going to pick Virginia Tech, but I'm not guaranteeing a win this weekend. Florida State's just too much. But then again, Florida State did almost lose to Boston College this year. They barely beat BC. BC's not that good, and they barely beat them. Clemson, then again, Clemson was good too. It was a close game in that one, but still they barely beat BC. It kind of shows a little bit of concern for Florida State, but they could respond here to stay undefeated here. I don't know. Maybe Virginia Tech keeps it close. I'd be happy if they keep it close. I'm not expecting a close game, but I'd be happy if they keep it competitive. I'll still take the Hokies, but if I were you guys, don't pick Virginia Tech. Florida State's top 5 opponent. They're a top 5 team in the nation this year. Next, you got UNC hosting Syracuse. That's another 3:30 game. Syracuse came off their first loss this season. They lost to Clemson. I think Carolina wins by 2 touchdowns in that one. Syracuse is now face good opponents now. UNC's still good. They got a better quarterback in that showdown here, so I like the Tar Heels in this one. This one I've had my eye on too this week. Alabama at Texas A&M. They've had some close battles the last few years. Last time these two played in Texas A&M pulled the upset when Alabama was number 1 at the time. And last year Alabama won last year with a backup quarterback. I remember it wasn't pretty. I think this year A&M does it again, just like they did a couple years ago. I think A&M beats Alabama. Alabama is just not the same level they used to be. I was wrong when they put Ole Miss. I was wrong on that pick, but I don't know. Going into College Station, it's not gonna be easy for Alabama. I like the Aggies in this one. Another SEC matchup here. Kentucky at number 1 Georgia. Kentucky is undefeated. They're back in the rankings, number 20. So a couple of unbeaten teams. Georgia kind of got lucky last week against Auburn. They haven't been playing good. I mean, they won. They're undefeated still, but they find ways to get lucky. I think this week they're not. I think I'm calling the upset. I think number 1 Georgia goes down this weekend, even though it's at home. But I like Kentucky. The way they made a statement against Florida last week, it just shows it. It shows Kentucky's real deal. I mean, they're better than everyone thinks they are. That's why I think Kentucky's a better team. So give me the Wildcats in the upset. Now another primetime game. Michigan at Minnesota. Wolverines haven't really been tested that much. They've been blowing out every team pretty much this season. They really haven't been tested as much. Maybe they could be tested this weekend, but I just don't see it. Michigan's just too much. They went pretty easily against Minnesota on the road. I just don't see it. I mean, they'll eventually be tested by Ohio State and Penn State eventually, but right now they're playing some of these weak opponents. You know, the conference play is tough, but they're playing weak opponents. I like Michigan pretty easily over Minnesota. This one's on Saturday Night Football on ABC. This one, Notre Dame at Louisville. Louisville is yet to lose a game. They're unbeaten right now. Finally in the rankings. Notre Dame found a way to win in Duke last week. Oh, man, I'm going to go with the Irish. I mean, I was doubting them last week. This week, I'm back on. I think Notre Dame wins this week. They won 2 in a row. I thought they're going to be think about that Ohio State loss still. They won on the road. They're going to win again another road test against another ACC opponent. They'll make it look easy at the end. They'll win by at least 10 points or more. The last pick of this week's college football, I think it's another. A lot of these games have been SEC matchups, like in the conference. I got Arkansas at Ole Miss. Does this game even close? Arkansas did not look good. I mean, last week against Texas A&M, didn't look good at all. Arkansas looked terrible against A&M. This one's not going to be close at all. I got Ole Miss, and I got them winning big. It's not going to be close. Ole Miss has got so much confidence after a big win over LSU last week. I like Ole Miss. All right, this is a must-watch now. This week's MSP pool, week 5 edition of the NFL picks. I finished I still finished with positive points. I finished +1, but I didn't do as hot as I've been doing the last few weeks. Let's see if I can turn it around this week. So let's start with the Thursday night game tomorrow. Chicago Bears at the Washington Commanders. The spread is 6.5 favored by the Commanders. Do I take the points? Do I take the Bears? I'd say no. Washington looks so good. Looks a lot better. Bears are still winning this. They're not going to win this week. I think Washington covers. This Bears team is awful. I think they're the worst team in the league by far. I don't see them winning a game at all this year. I really don't see it now. I really don't see the Bears winning a game. They might be lucky, but I just don't see them. They're just not that good. They're worse than ever. So it was a waste of trading the first overall pick to the Panthers. It was a waste of it. They're just not there. Justin Fields is not the guy. DJ Moore is not showing that much how good he was. No, he's not. He's not playing good. So I got the Commanders in this one. Now they get the London game. This week is my Buffalo Bills taking the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars just played in London this past Sunday against the Falcons. They may look pretty easy, but they're not that as good as they thought they would be right now. They're 2-2, and the Bills are just making statement win after statement win. They've been dominating their opponents. The spread is 5.5, favored by the Bills. I'd say they cover. They'll lose by a touchdown. I'd say it's not gonna be a blowout. It's not gonna be as close as it might be closer than experts think, but I don't see it. Bills still win by a touchdown. They might run away with this one. Unless the Jaguars surprise us. Jaguars always play us tough, I've noticed. They played the Bills tough. Last time these two met, I remember it was a bad Jaguars team. I remember the last time these two met. It was bad. Urban Meyer was the head coach. We lost to them. We couldn't even score a touchdown the last time we met the Jaguars a couple seasons ago. This could be a sleeper week, which scares me because after that big win of the Dolphins, this could be a letdown week, but I hope not. Bills still win. Next, we got the Houston Texans at the Atlanta Falcons. Houston's been playing really good football lately. Dominant wins too. They dominated Jacksonville, obviously. They got dominated who else? Pittsburgh Steelers. I couldn't believe they dominated Pittsburgh, but then again, Houston's starting to be better. Then Kenny Pickett goes down with injury too. And Atlanta's had their nice little run, but they have not been winning with much football games lately too. They're 2-2. They're both 2-2. I like Houston. I'll take the points. The spread's 1.5. Favored by the Atlanta cuts at Atlanta, but I like Houston this one. I really think they make another statement win here. They're going to get to a winning record now. CJ Stroud is playing really good football. He could be offensive rookie of the year by the end of the season. I could be wrong. Next, you got the winless Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers winless heading into Detroit against the Lions. And the spread is the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are favored by 8.5. Are the Panthers going to get their first win? It could be a letdown week for the Lions, but no. Lions dominate this one. I like the line. They'll cover. They'll win by 9 or more. When will Carolina get the first one? I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina gets their first. They'll win eventually. Not this week, but they'll eventually get their first one. They'll get their first one before Chicago does. I wouldn't be surprised there. So I like the Lions this week. They'll cover. It's at home. Give me the Lions. Actually, at the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are favored by 1.5. This is kind of a pick 'em kind of. Anthony Richardson's playing good. He's been playing good. That's another rookie quarterback that's been playing really good this year. Tennessee's been all right. They're all right this year too. It's a big division matchup because everyone's 2-2. It's like a 4-way tie for first place in the division. But I'm gonna go with the Colts this one. It's at home. They'll cover the spread. Anthony Richards playing good. They almost came back. They almost beat the Rams last week. They came all the way back. They almost did. They forced overtime, but they almost won it too. That's crazy. Almost won the game last week. So I like the Colts this one. New York Football Giants at the Miami Dolphins. And the spread is 10.5 favored by the Dolphins. Dolphins, yeah, they got their ass kicked by the Bills. So the Giants look bad too. The Giants look terrible Monday night. We saw a couple nights ago against the Seahawks. Daniel Jones. This is a concern for the Giants. It gets worse because after they play the Dolphins, they play the Bills. So these next 2 weeks are gonna be brutal too. I got a call coming in. Hello.
Hey, Instigator Mick. Is this Instigator Mick show?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I had a question for you, man.
No.
I'll hang up and listen when I'm done asking it. I was going to ask you, what do you make of the Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals situation? It's shocked me to see how shitty they've been this year.
It's been surprised.
Hear your thoughts on it.
I think
I'll hang up and listen.
I think they're disappointing. I think the Bengals look shocked. This is just bad. The Bengals are a concern this year. I've never seen Joe Burrow play this bad in his NFL career. Seriously. I get it. The Bengals always have slow starts, but this is just a concern. Cincinnati does not look like a playoff team at all. I don't know what to think of the Cincinnati team. Right? I'm surprised. if I were the Bengals, and if they keep playing like this, I tell you, they should be scared of playing like teams with the Bills or something like that. The Bills would have a field day in this one. This Bengals team is so inconsistent. And the guy I feel bad for the most, Jamar Chase, one of the best receivers in the league. He's frustrated. He's had enough. Where he finally said in his, it's like, I'm always wide effing open. He's always said it. He's like, I'm wide fucking open. He's so mad about it. He just wants the ball. Give him the ball. I get it, but just this offense looks so bad. It's a concern for the Bengals right now. I've never seen Joe Burrow just. I don't care if it's injured or what. This is the worst I've seen out of Joe Burrow, even through college. Because I've seen him. He's always put up good numbers when he played for LSU, but this is the worst I've seen him in his entire football career. I'd say faced so much adversity. All right, back to the Dolphins-Giants game here. Oh, I see Kay joining. Hell yeah. Join the show here. Like, the Dolphins are favored by 10.5. This is an easy one. I'll take the Dolphins. They'll cover. This is a bounce-back week for them after they lost the Bills. Giants, they're going to still be at one win. I could be wrong, but I really think Dolphins just dominate this one. And it's in Miami. Next, you got the New Orleans Saints at the New England Patriots. The spread is favored by New England, 1.5. Do I take the points? Let's send the Saints? No. New England covers. Saints look bad. It's in Foxborough. I think New England's due to get their second win this season. I mean, it's tough to get back, especially the way they played against Tampa Bay. I mean, they struggled against Tampa Bay. And the Saints did. So I like New England in this one. Mac Jones is going to put up better numbers than Derek Carr this week. He's going to outplay him for sure. Oh, on to the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens are favored by 3.5 on the road. This, I'm actually going to put as my pick of the week. I think the Ravens cover, depending on the status of Kenny Pickett this week. That's why I like the Ravens. They've just been a dominant team in the AFC North. They're definitely probably the best team in the AFC North. It's in Pittsburgh, but the Steelers' offense just looks bad. Kenny Pickett is just not the guy, it feels like. I thought at first, the way he's put up good numbers in preseason, thought, okay, this kid might be good this year. No, he is just not the guy. Ravens covered. This is my pick of the week. They're going to dominate. It's not even closer than 4 points. It's going to be worse than that. This Baltimore defense looks good. Lamar Jackson's got some weapons. Zay Flowers a rookie. You also got Mark Andrews still, and OBJ if he's going to play this week. In the running back position, Gus Edwards. I really like this team. I really like the Ravens this one. Maybe Baltimore. Now let's move on to the 4:00 games. You got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Arizona Cardinals, like we talked about earlier. Like the beginning of the show, talk about Joe Burrow. This is concerned. This has got to be the game that turned their season around. I mean, if they lose the Cardinals, I'd say they're done. They cannot. I mean, seriously, they cannot lose the Cardinals. Dallas, even though Dallas did lose the Cardinals, I'm saying this is a game you got to win if you're Cincinnati. Lose the Cardinals, you're in big trouble this year. This gotta be the Burrow bounce back game. It's gotta be the bounce back game this week. I like Cincinnati. They're favored by 2.5 on the road. I like Cincinnati. They'll cover. They'll win by a field goal. Maybe more than that. If Burrow is back to his normal form. If that offense dominates, I tell you, then I'll stop shit talking the Bengals. Stop talking bad about them. I will if the Bengals do look good this week. This has got to be his bounce back game. Let's move on here to the next 4:00 game. The Philadelphia Eagles at the LA Rams. Eagles are favored by 4.5 on the road. Rams they were dominating at the beginning, most of that Colts game, and then they let the Colts come back. They found a way to win in overtime. The Eagles, though, they had an overtime game too. They almost lost to the Commanders. The thing is, Commanders are better than a lot of experts thought. But I think this Eagles team, they'll win they'll cover the spread, but then again, I don't know. I can't trust them because, the Eagles have a big lead and then they start choking. But I like them winning on the road in LA. They dominate this one. Jalen Hurts has another good game. Puts up good numbers. Him and A.J. Brown. Look out. Next, you got the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos are favored by 2.5. Broncos finally got their first win. They beat the Bears. But the New York Jets, though, came so close to beating the Chiefs. They were in it. Zach Wilson outplayed Mahomes, which surprised everyone. That was one of the best games I've seen in Zach Wilson's NFL career. Possibly, maybe, but the way he pulled, the Jets had a chance too. Then again, the refs did hand Kansas City the game a little bit, I'd say. But I think the Jets respond. They're going to win this week. They're going to beat Denver. The Jets will respond. I'll take the points this one. Broncos will not cover. They will not win. I like the Jets in this one. That defense is going to be too much for Russell Wilson to handle. Got the Kansas. This is America's Game of the Week on CBS. You know, Fox has this is like the big national televised game on CBS. Is Kansas City Chiefs at the Minnesota Vikings? They are favored by 5.5. I'm going to say this is one of my big upsets this week. I think the Chiefs don't cover and the Vikings win this week. I really think Minnesota beats Kansas City. It's in Minnesota. Justin Jefferson has a really good, probably one of his best games of the season since, like one of his best games of his career since the Buffalo Bills won, some of the other games he's had. Justin Jefferson goes off. Chiefs aren't going to get lucky this week. I'd say they're toast. Minnesota keeps it close, but I don't like the Chiefs this one. I really don't. Chiefs are not going to get lucky this week. Give me Minnesota. Now the Sunday night game. This is probably the best game of the week. The Cowboys at the 49ers. It's in San Francisco. The spread is 3.5, favored by the 49ers. The 49ers cover. I mean, it's kind of tough because Dallas is pretty good. They made a statement win against the Patriots after losing the Cardinals a week after before that. 49ers are just, obviously, I'd say, other than the Bills, they're definitely one of the best teams in the NFL. Definitely the best in the NFC. I like the Niners, and I like it's not going to be close. Niners run away with this one. Christian McCaffrey puts up at least over 100 yards rushing, even 200 yards. Deebo Samuel, I don't know if he'll be playing this week, but Brock Purdy, he might be an MVP candidate. Now they're saying he's kind of a dark horse for an MVP candidate this year. I like the Niners. That defense is going to be all over Dak Prescott. Last but certainly not least, the Monday night game, the Green Bay Packers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Davante Adams against his old team. This is going to be a good one to watch. Both teams, 2-2 the Packers just came off of, like I said last week, I knew the Packers were going to lose the Lions. I was happy about it. I'd say it's in Vegas. Do I pick the Raiders? I'd say the answer is no. Packers are favored by 1.5. I think the Packers will cover. Oh, yeah. The love machine tries out. Oh, man. I hope my dad sees that. I hope Timmy sees that one. I think the Packers respond this week. They'll win this one. The Raiders, they're kind of struggling, but Davante Adams still puts up a good game. Then again, I do have a Raiders shirt I'm just going to wear on purpose just to get my dad going. I'm watching with him. I think the Packers cover this week. Jordan Love puts up over 200 yards passing, me 250. But then again, if Davante Adams wins this one, oh man, that one, it would just make Dad's night miserable. Davante Adams puts up a good game, but give me Green Bay, they'll win, they'll respond. That defense is gonna shut down Aiden O'Connell. He's gonna make some rookie mistakes. It's a really elite defense. Well, that'll wrap it up here for this edition of Instant Gamer Mick. Thanks all for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday at 8:30. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.